The Holy Spirit is constantly moving, constantly drawing people in to Jesus Christ to bring about conversion, to bring about grace. You know, Pastor Rick Warren from Saddleback Church once compared the movement of the Holy Spirit to waves in the Pacific Ocean. And surfers, when they're going surfing, they don't generate the waves. No, they learn to catch the waves. They learn to ride the waves, to work with the waves. Similarly, as ministers, we can't force the Holy Spirit to work. The Holy Spirit's already working, already drawing people in, already bringing people to Christ. And it's your job and mine to try to figure out where the Holy Spirit is moving and to work with and cooperate with the Holy Spirit.
I remember my first encounter with him in the 9th grade as my theology teacher. The first day of class, he walked in and he told us, "You are here because you are loved." And I had never heard that before. I had never encountered a stranger, someone who I hadn't met yet, say that I was here because I was loved. And that really spoke to me, and it really said a lot about his character and how he was so interested in everyone around him.
Where my real passion is mentoring. I love to be able to listen to people. I follow what Stephen Covey said in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Seek first to understand, only then to be understood.
He has always been here for both me and any other students that need him. On a personal level, he has a very, very kind and generous personality. He will always give you as much time as he can, as long as he has time. He will sit and listen to you talk as long as you need him to be there. He will give you his own personal advice, share his own personal life.
I would say one of the biggest things about him is his big heart and his kind heart. And, all the trials and tribulations he's been through in his life, it helps him be a compassionate and accepting person. And he doesn't look down on anybody. I work at a Catholic school, and I'm not even Catholic, and he's become one of my best friends here. And I never got the impression that he looks down on me for not being Catholic.
I have to affirm Matt's ability to love each unique person. His students aren't just numbers, but they have names, and he has a love and a care for each of them by name. He wants to get to know them, their struggles, and help them to know how Christ loves them and where they are in their life.
I've actually had a lot of people, both students here and even former students and alumni, who will come back and will just be able to share their lives with me, ask me questions, and I can help them to understand how the teaching of Jesus, how the teaching of the church will help them to live a more joyful and peaceful life.
One of the things that strikes me about Matt is his enthusiasm and his joy for spreading the gospel. He loves to talk about Jesus, to share his faith, and he's really, really good at making it relatable to whatever age group he's speaking to.
With respect to the students love him. The students love his energy. They're always coming to show me, "Mr. Gain, look what Mr. Kennel did in class today," because he always comes up with these creative ways to get a lesson across, and it really makes other teachers step up their game, say, "Hey, I want to be creative too."
I love to tell stories. I love to use examples. One of my favorite things that I do, and you'll hear about some other ones from the students, but one of my favorite things that I get to do is to talk about baptism. And I just go crazy when I talk about baptism. I'll be like pouring water over my head, blah, 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 blah. I'll be using a marker to draw the sign of baptism on my forehead. I'll do whatever it takes to help my students, the people in my audience, to know exactly what it is that the faith says in a way that's memorable and enjoyable.
I remember one of the best stories that we had with him as a theology teacher was one time whenever he was explaining the differences between using someone and loving someone. He gave the example of a vending machine. The vending machine here at the school was his quote-unquote girlfriend. He came over to the vending machine with his whole class. He would say that he loves the vending machine. He gives him whatever he wants. As long as he gives the vending machine whatever it needs, such as the money, it gives him what he wants, such as the drink or the snack. Of course, that isn't what love is, but that was one of the more funny things that he did as a teacher. But it still has stuck with me for 4 years.
Mr. Kennel had to be my favorite teacher whenever I was in high school. He is the best teacher. He cares about every single student that walks into his classroom, and he has the ability to adapt to every single student.
Taking something that's complex and complicated and making it really simple, but without losing the heart of it, is the most fun part of my job.
Being successful in his class is really easy. He made everything so interesting whenever we were learning about it.
He basically put the whole of the Bible in a small little bow that's easy to understand and rather quick to teach.
And so he's able to teach the truth of the faith in its splendor and its glory, and with its richness of substance and depth.
He's always looking for ways to improve on his teaching, on everything, on his living. You know, he kind of inspired me to do some new things with my life because he came up with this plan, you know, just to be a happy person, a successful person, and he lives by it.
The other thing that I've noticed about Matt is his desire to improve and to be the best. He reads countless articles and journals and books on different strategies and techniques for helping to get your point across or to be a better teacher or all this stuff. He's always reading and learning and striving to be better and better each and every day.
It is a true blessing to work with him. He's a man of incredible talent, has a passion for the Lord and a passion for sharing that with everyone he knows. And he's able to uniquely combine his passion with an incredible intellect. Brilliant.
I'm always trying to read new books on how to communicate better. I read Made to Stick by Chip and Dan Heath. I just finished reading John Maxwell's beautiful book, Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. I'm always looking for ways to try to up my game.
Mr. Kennel is a man of great devotion, integrity, faith. He definitely is someone that I look up to. He is someone who has heavily influenced my life in such a great way.
I would say I have fully enjoyed my 3 years with Mr. Kennel. He has been a great teacher. He's made theology fun and understanding, easy to understand.
He's somebody you can trust. He's somebody you can rely on. Probably one of the brightest people I know, and he'll never hold that above your head. He always realizes there's more to learn, and his humility is contagious.
He has the ability to teach students how to become leaders, which I think is very personal on my part because I know that I've learned all of my leadership skills from Mr. Kennel. Mr. Kennel has changed every single student that has entered his classroom. Mr. Kennel is a great teacher.
I know that he's going to bring that dedication, that commitment, that enthusiasm, that joy, and that desire to be the best he can possibly be.
I can't help but give Matt my highest recommendation for any field when it comes to ministry. He'll be an incredible blessing and asset.
To me, that's what it means to be a communicator. It means to constantly be entering into communion with others so that you can give to them the truths of the gospel, and so that you can enter into relationship with them. And I aspire to be a communicator. I aspire to not just get a message across and not just build a relationship, but to really enter into communion with the people who I am ministering to, the people I'm working with, and the people I'm working for. I've been doing this for 5.5 years in ministry, and for even longer before that in volunteer ministry. And I believe that you and I together can work to bring your parish or your school closer to Jesus Christ. I know, because I've been surfing these waves for many, many years.